Are live, just in case anybody pops in.
I'm
So
calling you a laser brain.
go ahead and talk for me.
Okay, you're a laser brain.
I am.
And you're a laser brain. Hey.
Should we apologize for being a day late? It's my fault. I'd like to apologize for being a day late. I started school, so I'm going to be very busy.
Kindergarten?
But yeah.
You're a big kindergartner.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got held back a couple years, so you know how to... What?
Sorry to hear that.
I'm still working on it. Those shapes are hard.
Give you that.
I'm trying to join at the moment. It's not making it easy. Go ahead and tell us what we're doing today.
Well, we're doing the wild card, which is the weird area between Seven and the Ragged Tiger and Notorious.
Mm-hmm.
Lots to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things happened.
I did all my homework.
You did?
I listened to every single one of these. Well, I think I did it after I did my schoolwork. And I just sat in a dark room with my headphones on and just laid there and let it all wash over me. And I gotta be 100%. A lot of these I've heard a million times. A lot of these, I think the whole Power Station album I haven't heard one time, except for when I listened, which I loved it. And I thought that was really good.
Well, I'm ashamed to say I haven't listened to that whole album in a very long time. So it was almost foreign to me.
It was very foreign to me. It felt like I was getting new Duran songs, you know?
Well, it's a Power Station.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's Simon.
Nope.
It's not Simon?
Nope.
Who's singing then?
Robert Palmer.
Huh. You think I'd pick up on that?
Did you notice his face in the video, was it?
Oh, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really tuned in. I'm a little sleepy today.
No, it was Robert Palmer, the guy that did Addicted to Love.
Wow. Why are we listening to it then?
Because we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We'll get to why you're listening to it, other than it being an outstanding album, right?
Okay. Nobody's in the chat at the moment, but I am connected.
Well, what can we do?
Well,
that's that.
I'll just start talking crap about some stuff, and some people will appear.
That's how it usually works, right?
Mm-hmm. And then I'll get bullied.
So you have... I probably should have pulled out Arena, too, but I don't really count that. So you had Seven and the Ragged Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
They go out on tour. They sell millions of albums. They sell at all the stadiums. In fact, they sell it so much that they had to keep adding dates at the bottom of the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So it went on way past than anybody thought.
Mm-hmm.
They did a documentary. They did a live concert. It was called the Video Concert that was on Cinemax. And then eventually they made something called Arena, which is the name of the live album that was taken from the tour, which was supposed to be a double album and was not.
I think we would have been okay skipping it if it was just live versions. I know live versions are different, but they're the same enough to where I feel like I'd have a lot of the same thoughts, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, it just wasn't. I mean, I don't know that it.
We could circle back at some point if you wanted.
I don't think it fits, even though they re-released "Save a Prayer" as a single from that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Arena's Arena. It's a good album, but I don't consider that a studio album. It's a real album.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. But what is important about Arena?
Mm-hmm.
They wrote a new song to staple on there, a studio version. Any idea what that was?
Wild Boys?
It's the Wild Boys.
Wild Boys!
Turns out to be a really good tune.
That is the first song on the Duran Duran 84 to 85 Wildcard playlist. If you are playing along at home, ooh, we got one other person in here with us.
That's
I don't know who it is, but I see somebody. Hello. We just started talking about the songs.
So there is the backside
and the front.
And the Wild Boys.
Is it just Wild Boys on it? Or no, there's other stuff?
There's a live version of Looking for Cracks in the Pavement.
Love
and then
that
there's
song.
the extended mix, Wilder Than Wild Boys.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that extended version.
Yeah, you remember I said I didn't like any extended?
Mm-hmm.
I like the Wild Boys extended.
Pretty good, right?
I don't know if it's because I was doing a little jig while listening to it, but when you're dancing along, it's not so bad.
Not so bad. There you go. They should put that on the when
Yeah.
they re-release it. They'll put that as a liner
Well,
note. Not so bad.
I really don't like extended versions of songs. Like, it's probably my least favorite thing. The Wild Boys one, I was engaged the whole time, so not that bad.
They took and they made a Wild Boys video,
Mhm.
and then they made a whole sort of I'm not gonna call it a movie, but they took the video concert from Cinemax
Mhm.
and then wove it into a sort of movie.
Mhm.
So you have it's hard to explain, but they sort of make a movie out of it.
Mhm.
But a lot of it is just the video concert. But then there's the Wild Boys stuff that they made as a single.
Mhm.
So we can talk about Wild Boys.
Wild Boys.
That is the first song I remember heavy anticipation for.
Do 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 do.
I remember everybody at school was waiting to hear that.
Mhm.
And
It has a fun name too.
in those days, and you couldn't get information like you can today where there's internet and everything. You just get little scraps from a DJ saying it's coming or something like that.
I like when he yelled "wild."
You did?
I thought that was pretty good.
What about when he yells boys?
That was okay.
Okay.
Not as good as the wild. Wild is the fun word there. Oh, I just hit the mic. Sorry.
But so I had to sit with a tape recorder and wait for it to play on the radio.
You're so late.
I was late to school that day because
Uh-huh.
I didn't care. I wanted the song.
Mhm.
And of course, it was fantastic.
Mhm.
We never heard him sing like that.
Yeah, it was very.
If you listen to that,
Wow.
the whole song is sort of almost like a
Wild
yearning, or
boys are falling.
he sings it in a very different way.
Yeah, you're right.
And
It's a different vibe than everything else he's done.
It's not Seven and the Ragged Tiger.
Yeah, well, that's why it's kind of its own thing, and we're talking about it in this video and not the Seven and the Ragged Tiger video.
And it really was sort of the last of sort of that era.
Mhm.
Because once we get to the end of this and then we start talking about Notorious the next time, sound completely changes.
True.
And
I agree with that.
You really don't revisit this style again until a very long time.
Mhm. Is this the one where in the video he wears a leather jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
He gets soaked.
Yeah.
He's on the windmill.
I remember it vaguely.
We were in a car.
I very much remember the leather jacket. I think that's what made him wild.
Well, I think they made some dolls of that too.
We lost our viewer, just so you know.
Oh, we were boring.
And apparently, too much Wild Boys.
So what did you think of Wild Boys?
I love Wild Boys. It's a great song. I mean, I guess that's all I can say about it. I've heard it 1,000 times. That's one of those ones that I think is popular enough to where it shows up a lot if you're listening to playlists and best ofs and
they still play it live in concert.
Yeah. I've heard that song 1,000 times. Love the song. Great song.
And it was. So what happened was there was a book called The Wild Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And the director who did a lot of their videos got the film rights and was going to make a Wild Boys movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to run in and make a song called The Wild Boys.
Wild Boys.
Then they called him and said, look, we made a song off of your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the one who directs the Arena
Mm-hmm.
movie and the Wild Boys video.
Very nice.
Kind of sewed it all up.
Did you end up not making the Wild Boys movie?
The elements of that movie, there was no movie called Wild Boys, but there was a movie called Highlander 2. And some of the elements of the Wild Boys sneak into Highlander 2. But I mean, you gotta have a sharp eye and really know what's up. Otherwise, you just be like, huh?
You know what's up.
So they sort of made it into there.
Mm-hmm.
But another straight to number one
Mm-hmm.
song for Duran Duran, Wild Boys.
Love it.
Big deal.
Great song.
But not the biggest deal.
What was the biggest deal? Oh, View to a Kill?
A View to a Kill.
That's not next on our list, but I'll allow it.
It's not?
No. Well, I'll allow it.
We'll talk about A View to a Kill.
Why not?
I probably should show.
Well,
There's The View to a Kill.
Oh, Ron's here.
Hi, Ron.
Ron says hi. Hi, Ron.
Ron knows View to a Kill.
We missed you, Ron. We got the View to a Kill.
There's the back.
Now, what's so special about View to a Kill?
So, A View to a Kill is actually the theme for the James Bond movie, A View to a Kill.
Oh, dude, you should have brought down your thing. We have a. Is that a laser?
It's a
or
soundtrack.
record?
It's just a record.
It's a record from the movie View to a Kill.
And why is that important? Because it's a very exclusive club to be able to cross over into movies and to write a James Bond theme. I mean, you can think of some of the other people, Paul McCartney and Wings. They did Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
Right. And there's some others probably you wouldn't know. Rita Coolidge, you wouldn't know. Sheena Easton, Carly Simon.
Ron says A View to a Kill is one of my favorites. Which,
I agree with that.
That's that's a popular take.
And it really is a James Bond piece of music.
Yeah.
But it is also very
Duran, yeah.
So it was
it's
perfect fusion of that. I guess there was some kind of dinner or party or restaurant. Yeah. John Taylor walks in, sees Cubby Broccoli, who is the producer of the James Bond movies, says, "We want to write your movie." That might have turned out better, because I understand the movie wasn't so good. "We want to write a song for your movie," and he goes, "Yeah." And so they go and they write the song.
Yep.
And it goes to #1.
Yep. I mean, why not? James Bond's popular, Duran Duran's popular. Life is good.
Well, it had never happened before, and it's never happened since. No other artist or song, and there's 24 or 5 Bond movies now. None of them have gone to #1. Not even Paul McCartney and Wings. So, not bad.
Hey, Ron has a question.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
Have you seen what's happening with Dance Macabre album? It's all over Facebook.
I have, and we're going to talk about that. Well, I guess we could sideline into it. So, last time we were here, I heard something very crazy. New version of New Moon on Monday, deluxe Dance Macabre, Shadows on Your Side. Well, finally today, because I searched all week, finally today it broke, and I guess it broke too early, because my understanding has been taken down. There is a deluxe version of Dance Macabre.
And you didn't have faith.
Well, usually you'd see it or something.
Yeah.
What doesn't it have, though? It does not have a version of Shadows on Your Side.
I'll be fine with that, as long as we're...
There is a reworking of New Moon on Monday, so you score.
I love that. Yay!
So there's a CD with 3 extra songs on it, including the New Moon on Monday.
Am I going to need to buy that? I think I'm going to need to buy that.
You might. Now, I found a place who broke and has decided to start selling it anyway, so I ordered my copy.
Is there a record?
There is a record box set, and it's full of goodies, and you sitting down? 7 new songs if you buy the vinyl.
Ooh. Ron Farney says they changed their minds. What does that mean?
They must have taken Shadows on Your Side.
Listen,
they love to
gonna
tease me with Shadows on Your Side.
And also, we got a new person here who said, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Let me see. Can you read that for me?
Where are we?
I'm stupid. The blue one. Can you read?
Miss Carpenter?
Miss Carpenter?
Mr. Carpenter?
I don't know.
When you can't say a first name, you're not sure, you would say the last name. Just like I have the hardest time saying Kamala Harris.
Rather than Kamala,
because it's been said that way.
Yeah.
I always wonder why they don't just call her Miss Harris.
It's cost $549 on vinyl.
So that is the booger.
I can't afford that.
Either can I be honest. I cannot afford that. It's very limited set.
Mrs. We're sorry about that, Mrs. Carpenter.
$550. I understand you make something nice, limited.
That's a lot of money.
Is it possible to show?
Ron says it's sold out already. So people had money apparently.
Well, my understanding is they put it up early and people started, and then they were forced to take it down. And there's going to be another chance to get it.
Okay.
But it's going to be a slim chance because people jump on that stuff.
Yeah.
Is it possible to move that camera up to that picture, or Should we bring the picture down to it?
What picture? This one?
Yeah.
Why do you want that
Well,
one down?
because that was a limited edition print. I
That's
think
not Duran Duran.
it's not, but it goes with the thing. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time and got the print.
I think
And
you're
we'll
in
leave it
for
up
a
there.
world of pain if you,
Yeah.
you try to do anything with that.
Here's the good news.
Yeah, it's
Probably
sold
going to be
out.
able to find those songs online. I haven't heard anything about an
Yeah.
iTunes
It'll be
release.
there. It always ends up being there. It's just you won't get your physical media dose.
That I don't like.
Yeah.
And if it really is
Man.
$5.50,
$5.50 and it's sold out. Imagine how much dough they're rolling in.
well, they should have made more.
Yeah. That's a lot of money though, if you think about it.
It's an insane amount of money for 4 records.
That's almost the cost of my rent.
But there's also speculation that the other songs
Mm-hmm.
aren't really songs. They're like, I don't know how familiar you are with Big Thing.
I know Big Thing.
If you listen to the whole album a lot,
Oh
because
no.
there's lots of interludes in Big Things that they have song titles, but they're only like 10 or 15 seconds long.
I know what an interlude is.
And they're
Yeah.
songs that didn't make the album.
Mm-hmm.
They were just pieces, and they threw them in and sped them up,
Yep.
so it sounds a little crazy. I saw some people had slowed it down. You can sort of hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're worried that that's the thing. One of the new songs is an instrumental.
Prototypes, Ron says.
Prototypes.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what goes on. We'll have to see for an official announcement of the release. We'll have to see if they might do something like that sold out fast. We'll make another batch.
Yeah. I mean, if they want more money, people like money, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's a record store day. My understanding is it's a record store day. You might be able to go record store day and find it too.
Okay. I'm into it.
Which I've never heard of a record store day being a box set and that expensive. But
I mean, I love Dance Macabre.
Yep.
I tell you, if I had the means, I would be all over that.
Well, and it comes in a big box, and I guess there's a bunch of photos that come with it.
Oh, so it's like
over 200 photos. Yeah,
it's
like
for super fans.
It's not. It's yeah.
That sounds like super fans.
It's
It sounds like something Ron needs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, it's hard. You know, when they only put a couple out,
What are you gonna? I mean, then you're special.
how are you gonna get it?
Yeah.
And then, can you imagine the resale on that?
Probably at least double. At least.
At least double.
At least double.
And the longer it goes on, for completists who want everything, it's a must-have, like anything else. So excited to hear that. I always love new product.
Ooh, Ron says there's 500 photos in the box set.
That's a lot of photos.
That's for each dollar you spend on the thing. Yeah.
It's $1 a photo if you look at it that way.
Besides, and then the 50 is for the songs.
Right.
$50 for the songs, 500 for each photo is $1. So honestly, it's kind of a steal.
Can I be honest? I'd like to have those photos. I wonder what
Yeah.
they are. They could be cool,
Yeah.
but not for $5.50.
Simon with his shirt off, maybe?
Nah. Maybe you want that. I don't.
Uh-huh. Do you want to start going with Wildcard some more, or you want to talk more about
Yeah.
that?
So let's get back on track with A View to a Kill.
Wildcard.
So A View to a Kill, another #1 song,
Yep.
and A View to a Kill represents the apex of Duran Duran.
Mm-hmm.
This is the line for Duran Duran,
Mm-hmm.
and A View to a Kill at #1 is the top of the mountain. You couldn't go any further in pop music.
Mm-hmm.
That was the top, but what goes up must come down. And at this point, A View to a Kill was the top.
The tops.
And it was the #1 song when they were on stage at Live Aid, which was the big, we put Do They Know It's Christmas in the wild
I
card.
love that.
That turned into a concert.
Yep.
They were there
Mm-hmm.
in Philadelphia, and they came out and sang A View to a Kill, and it was the #1 song in the country at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That they had it all. That's
Mhm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about the slide after that. But why is this wild card? Well, the band splintered.
Yep.
That's how you get Power Station, and that's how you get Arcadia. And Power Station...
Yeah, tell me about Power Station, because apparently I wasn't paying enough attention.
So there's the Power Station.
Yep.
that in there so you can see Robert Palmer's there. This is the 2 CD one. There's a DVD in here. So the Power Station is John Taylor and Andy Taylor, and they're going to go make their own record.
Mm-hmm.
They go and get Tony Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
who at that time was probably the best drummer,
Mm-hmm.
and they got Robert Palmer, who I'm not going to say was unsuccessful. People knew him, and he had a distinct voice.
Mm-hmm.
But it was this record that turned him into the higher echelon of pop music.
Ron just said something funny. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Power Station isn't as good as Arcadia. The reason that's funny to me is just before this, I said I like Power Station more than Arcadia.
Yeah.
So Ron, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to disagree.
Well, to be
Made
fair,
me giggle a little bit.
to be fair, you might be biased because you hadn't really heard the record, and this is the first time. It's like getting a new album.
Yeah, I've never heard Power Station in my life.
You
I've
had
heard-
to have heard Some Like It Hot. How do you escape that song?
I don't think I have.
Wow.
When I listened to it, I'm like, this is really good, and I feel like I hadn't heard it. And Arcadia, I guess a few of them I heard of, some of them I didn't, and I was sort of just like, on the whole thing. I know.
So anyway, the Power Station, I remember when that news broke and people were like, oh my God, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
They've broken off. Andy and John are disgruntled. They wanted to go do their own record. But it turns out they just wanted to do a hard rock album.
I gotta be for real. I didn't think I was a hard rock guy. I think I'm a hard rock guy.
And Andy really can play that guitar.
Yep.
I mean, he was good in Duran Duran. He hit another level with the Power Station because he was able to go free.
I think all the songs up until Get It On, Bang a Gong are like my favorites.
So
That first chunk right there, those are every single one I was listening to. I was like, this is really good, you know.
So I hadn't heard the record in a long time. So I sat down today, a couple hours ago. I put on some headphones
Mm-hmm.
and I listened to the entire album. And when you have headphones on, you can hear all
Everything.
the nuances that you don't hear.
And some's on the left, some's on the right.
And of course, I knew Some Like It Hot, and of course, I knew Communication, and
Yep.
of course, I knew Bang a Gong,
Yep.
and of course, I knew Go to
Gong.
Zero. But I was surprised. Every one of those tracks is stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Harvest for the World?
You're gonna have to remind me. Remember, I listened. This is the very first time I heard these
Mhm.
songs, and it's like the only time I've heard these songs. So I need a little reminder.
So Harvest of the World is very interesting because Andy is singing some of it,
Mm-hmm.
and Robert is singing some of it, and I don't
Okay.
remember that happening. It's towards the bottom of the list there.
Okay.
Kind of hard to explain it to you. You're gonna have to hear it a couple more times. but,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I remember when that came out, and people were like, "Oh, that's a little." Back in that time in the '80s, you either listened to pop,
Yep.
or there was what they called heavy metal, which is, if you
Is-
listen
yeah.
to it now, it's funny because it's really not.
It's not.
It's not Metallica, but there, and you couldn't like both. So people who liked heavy metal
Mhm.
shit on people who liked the pop stuff.
Meanwhile, I like both.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the funny thing
Yeah.
about it. Who cared? But
Yeah.
for some reason, that was a big deal. You were either on this side of the fence or the other. So when they crossed over that fence and he started ripping on that guitar, it was a big deal. And then you get a song like Some Like It Hot, who I don't remember if that got to #1 or not, but it got pretty close.
Is Nick Rhodes in
Nope.
any of that? Okay.
Nick Rhodes, it has nothing to do with the Power Station.
I was just asking because Ron says, I'm a huge Nick Rhodes fan, Mastermind. And then the Christians did a record called that. Like, I think I might have been too out of context. I should have popped in more
so
recent.
so you get the Power Station record.
Yep.
You get Robert Palmer. He
Mhm.
writes Some Like It Hot.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they call it the Power Station is that's where they recorded. There was a recording
Yeah,
studio.
for
and
some
they
reason,
called the Power
I
Station.
don't know why. I thought Simon was writing these songs.
No.
I don't know why. I just thought it.
And I'll even fry your brain some more.
What?
Bang a Gong is a remake.
Great.
They didn't even write that one. And when you hear the original and you hear this one rips.
Harvest for the World.
Yeah, Harvest for the World.
Yeah. I got you.
So,
Oh, yeah, and the Christians did a record called that. Okay, I got it. I'm in the know now. Figuring out what Ron's saying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you had Some Like It Hot, that was a huge hit.
Loved it.
And then Bang a Gong was a hit. And then they released Communication, which was a...
You're not talking about Murderess? I thought that was really good.
Murderous does not get singled.
love that one. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't be able to tell which one's my favorite between Some Like It Hot and Murderess.
Really?
Yeah. I really like that song.
Wow.
I was listening to it and I'm like, I'm gonna put this on my personal playlist, and that doesn't happen a lot.
It's a good tune.
It's a good
I'm
tune.
not going to argue that. And
Yeah.
Tony banging away on those drums.
And Some Like It Hot, I was telling you off camera because we watched the music video together.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning, I was like,
Some Like It Hot, you mean?
yeah, Some Like It Hot. I was like, the chorus hit, it's outstanding, and then the chorus uplifts the rest of the song. Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum,
Well, because
bum.
at first you do it and you're like, oh, and then ooh, and then oh, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how to describe it. The Power Station I really enjoyed. I just like the vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really something different.
Yeah, I really like it.
And John Taylor and Annie Taylor were playing like they'd never played before.
Because they were trying to prove something, right?
I don't know if they were trying to prove it, but they wanted to do something without the influence of the other three.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Roger was involved at one point in the Power Station.
Oh. A little bit of drama.
So I don't know how much, and it wasn't, I never saw any photos with them doing it or anything like that, but I understand he was a small piece of that.
Okay.
Tiny little stinker.
Which is fine.
So the Power Station comes out and it does pretty well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know this for sure, but then Nick Rhodes gets the idea, well, maybe we need to have an album.
So, and then that's where Arcadia comes in?
And that's where Arcadia comes from. And apparently...
Yes, it's true, both projects. Oh, yeah. His involvement. Okay.
So Nick Rhodes decides he wants to make an album, and he wants to be away from the restraints of the other two.
Yeah.
And he calls up Simon Le Bon, who has his bag packed and going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
says,
like, hey.
No.
Listen.
We're going to go make this record.
Yep.
So they go and make So Red the Rose. Oh, that's one here. I was lucky enough to get a promotional copy of that.
Yes, it's true. Ron's fact-checking us our stories,
And
which I actually appreciate.
Ron.
Yeah.
So there it is there.
Well, because you tell me all this stuff, and sometimes I'm like, how do you know all that? You know?
Well, that's why I always say my understanding.
Yeah.
In case I'm wrong. So this is a promo copy that would have been sent to a record.
And I want you to know, I also have that record. Before I even knew any of the songs, I got it because I'm like, oh, my dad likes that. And then I got it, and you already had one, so I brought it back to my place and listened to it. That's how I listened to these songs, was on the record, which is classic, you know?
So what they did was they originally decided they were just going to write one song, and then it turned into an album.
Okay.
And they brought in people from all people that they wanted to work with. And they pulled them in. They even pulled in Sting from the Police, if you know who he is.
I do know who Sting is.
They pulled him in for a song.
In Friends? Was that Friends?
Oh, yeah.
Sting, his kid was going to the thing and wanted to go put their kid in the thing. Okay, yeah. I know.
Yeah, there was
I know who
Sting.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know the Police, yeah.
Right. Every breath you take. There's no way you got away from that song.
Exactly.
So it took them a while, but they made this entire album, and they released Election Day. And I don't think it got to number 1, but again, it got really close.
Ron says, yes, The Promise.
The Promise is the track that
Yeah.
Sting is
There
on,
it is. Yep.
And it was also a single.
Yeah.
There was a video,
Mm-hmm.
so they pushed that one forward. You've got Election Day, which was the first single.
So can I talk real quick?
Sure.
In
fact, that's the whole point of this.
Well, yeah, because I'm kind of taking these, as opposed to what we do with the other albums where we go through each song, I'm kind of looking at it as like a whole.
The album?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm doing. There was a lot of like slower, you were right, it's more
ethereal.
Yeah, which is not, that's probably why I like Power Station more, because it's not super my style.
Well, they're completely different.
Yeah, there's a few songs in here, like some of them, they were just kind of like, eh. But I remember Election Day I liked. I remember, what's that music video we just watched? The Flame?
There was Missing. That was the weird one. And then The Flame, where he's acting like a goofball.
I really like The Flame.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Which has guest vocals by Grace Jones.
Who dat?
Well, I think, see that chick up there on the cover?
Ooh, Arcadia hit number 1 in Italy.
Mm.
Mm.
Italy's always been very supportive, and in return, they reciprocate and go to Italy a lot.
That's yeah. I mean, I respect that. I respect the hustle. But yeah, those are the two songs I liked on this album. Everything else was like, like the me. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I felt good about a lot of these songs. Some a little bit less, but those two were like above for me.
So again, in this time period, you were either on one side of the fence or the other. I was on the Arcadia side of the
And
fence,
I'm on the Power Station side.
even though I liked Some Like It Hot and Bang a Gong. The Arcadia one, the Simon Le Bon lyric writing for me
Mm-hmm.
is some of his best that he's ever done.
John Taylor was in the Flame video.
He pops out. He has a contract. I guess he's supposed to be the devil.
Yep.
But that was fun
Yeah.
that he was there.
Oh, I love that video. That was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like I said, that's the one that kind of reminded me of Rocky Horror, right?
You might be right.
There was some light kind of, I was getting a vibe.
Mhm.
Obviously, you can, because it was like, there was like a party and it's kind of weird from everything else, and you get these two people coming in, and
Mhm.
maybe just a little taste.
Could
A little
been.
taste of inspiration. Who knows?
I don't know, but I remember that video was a big deal.
Yeah, I enjoyed that video.
In fact, the videos they made for So Red the Rose are some of their best. The Goodbye Forever, they're sort of in these, they're almost like I don't want to say It's a Small World, but sort of a ride like that. But of course, all creepy and gothic.
Yeah.
But they're kind of, and it finds that they're stuck in the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go sort of through amusement park. They go into different rooms. Think Disneyland, a ride like
Yeah.
Peter Pan or something like that. But then
Yeah.
have that sort of little evil, sort of mind bending. Because I remember the clock was rolling backwards.
Did you know the Power Station toured in America?
I do know that.
I didn't, because I never heard of the Power Station before the Wildcard playlist.
But they did not tour with Robert Palmer.
Oh,
He decided to go back and make his next album.
what was it?
It was called Riptide.
Ooh.
But what happened was there was a song on there called Addicted to Love. And that's when he went to the next level.
Yeah.
And he was accused of taking all his best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
But the Power Station,
Mm-hmm.
Andy and John had juice at that time.
Yep.
And they took Robert Palmer, and he got some of that magic fairy dust.
Yep.
And then he went, for a while, he right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And he had that video with all the chicks, and remember their hair was all slicked back, and they had the white
Oh,
faces.
chicks. Yeah. I do remember.
And he sort of made several videos sort of in that.
And we need to
Right,
start
that's a big
peeking
deal.
at some of the music videos when we do our reviews now.
Hmm.
I know the first two we didn't really. We might have
Well,
done
yeah, I
one.
mean, I've seen them so many times.
I haven't. Then this is like the inexperience and the experience, so you get a chance to sit here and explain stuff to me and tell me stories.
Well, I mean, we could link that into our
And
homework page.
and Ron throws in these fun facts and just like a little sprinkle of everything good.
Well, listen, I like the videos.
Yeah.
I watch them all.
I vaguely remember some of the videos because I would always remember we'd be sitting there and you'd start putting on some Duran Duran videos and
Why
I'd be
not?
like, yeah.
Every now and then, probably had to go, yeah, that was good. So Goodbye Forever is definitely a video you want to see.
Okay.
That's one of my faves.
Goodbye Forever.
So, anyway, the point. The band splintered.
So Red the Rose should have been a Duran Duran album. It would have been a huge, massive #1.
That's interesting. I wonder, what the changes would have been to the record.
And that you can only speculate that,
Right.
or like what was going to happen.
I don't think it would have been as out there,
I don't think it would have been as
ethereal,
ethereal. That's the one.
because those two guys probably would have reined it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think of it as a Duran Duran album.
Yeah.
Because you have the major components that makes Duran Duran work. You have Simon Le Bon's voice and writing,
Yep.
and you have Nick Rhodes on the synthesizer.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the magic sauce. Because as we go through these records, and sometimes they go do their solo work and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you will see that anytime you take too much out of that mix, it doesn't work.
Ron says there would have been epic bass lines.
I got to tell you, there was some pretty good bass lines in Arcadia, though, too.
Yeah. I mean, there could have been more epic.
Probably.
What would happen if it was just all bass, you know?
I don't think I've ever heard that. I think you can, nowadays, they can take computers and strip everything out. You could just hear
Oh,
the
yeah,
bass.
you can separate things.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I see people do it all the time.
It has to do with frequencies. They just take out all the other frequencies. But...
Huh. That's smart.
Oh, there's smart people out there.
I'm not that smart.
So the band is splintered.
Mm-hmm.
You got A View to a Kill.
Yeah.
That was the last thing the original 5 members had done.
Uh-huh. A View to a Kill.
That was it.
And then tell me about Do They Know It's Christmas?
Do They Know the Christmas? Bob Geldof called them and said, we're going to do... He was watching a TV show, and it was showing Africans starving.
Yeah.
Kids starving. And he couldn't believe... Because, he's in the UK where, people aren't really starving.
Yeah.
Even if
that's not what I associate with the UK, I'm sure there are.
Well, there's probably people going hungry and below the line, but there's charities and people aren't starving; they're hungry. But here, these people were starving to death.
Yep.
So he said, "No, we're going to make a single, and we're going to give all of the money to them to get food."
Oh, that's actually really nice. I like that.
So all of the top musicians of the day, sort of British. I can't think of one American that was there.
British.
I want to say I saw Jodie Watley in there, but I don't. That would have been too soon, and she didn't really pop until later, so maybe not. Maybe I'm confused on who I saw in there, but they had George Michael was there. You had Boy George.
They said Simon Le Bon voice amazing vocal cords in that single. Wow, wow, wow.
Yep.
I agree.
He's the best part.
I want to say that's one of my favorite songs with Simon in it. Maybe top 10 even.
Did you listen to the extended version?
You didn't have me put the extended version in.
Well, I should have, because he gets an extra line and you get to hear it.
I really like that song. In one of our other Laserdisc reviews, I was trying to do the Never Ending Story song, and I started doing that one instead. So that just shows how ingrained in my brain it is.
Well, and it was smart to make it a Christmas song, because then it comes around every year.
Yeah, I have it on my Christmas playlist that I play every single year, and it's a bop every time.
So artists in the United States were sort of like, oh, they did this? And they felt like, we should have been doing that. So they wrote a song, and they called it USA for Africa. And they got a bunch of pop stars together. And not only pop stars, too. I mean, they went deep. They had Stevie Wonder, they had Ray Charles.
Love all those
But
people.
you also had Daryl Hall and John Oates, Cyndi Lauper.
I love Cyndi
Huey
Lauper.
Lewis.
Love Huey Lewis.
Dan Aykroyd for some
Love
reason.
Dan Aykroyd.
He doesn't
Well,
really
maybe he
sing.
wants to help for the cause.
He's a Ghostbuster. He's not a
Yeah.
singer. So
Who
they
you gonna call?
So they wrote a song, "We Are the World."
Oh, I feel like I've heard that.
You must have.
Yeah.
To sort of the dual, we want to give money to Africa too.
Yeah.
And then the two sides came together for the Live Aid concert. So you had
Wow.
both USA for Africa and Live Aid mixing together.
I gotta be honest, that's pretty beautiful.
It made a lot of money.
I really like that. That's actually, I didn't know anything about that. I just knew that song. And I know, like Simon's kind of interested in the environment and stuff.
Very environmental.
Yeah, so that's sort of kind of what I just thought it was. I thought, kind of that same vibe. Yeah. Charity.
Okay.
All that stuff. I didn't know any of that story behind it. I love Duran Duran, my life, my soul, my heart. I listen to them every day. Best band ever on planet Earth.
Yep.
That's why they wrote a song about it.
Well, I can't argue with. I mean, they're my favorites. So.
Yeah.
I like a lot of other bands and a lot of other.
They're
music,
one of my favorites.
but they're not. They never are dethroned for me. It's always, if people ask you what's the last piece of music you can have, or Desert Island, or any of that stuff, it's always going to be Duran Duran. So.
Dang.
For me.
I should have. We were doing icebreakers in class. We had to write our favorite band on a name tag, and we had to try to find our group of people, kind of like the same genre. I should have done Duran Duran. I wasn't even thinking of it.
Yeah.
I just did some random band. Not even
You
my favorite.
might have made a good friend.
Exactly.
Duranis make the best friends.
Well, there was a lot of country music people, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna? He never really touched on the country music.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something before you go. Okay, I'm so excited. Well, Ron, go ahead. I'm trying to.
Before he goes?
Yeah, maybe.
Because
Before
I'm
you
not going
go.
anywhere.
Or maybe he sees we're getting near the end of our playlist and thinks we're going.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, well, lay a knowledge bomb on us, Ron.
Well, we gotta let Ron type it out. We gotta get there.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Ron to do that,
Mm-hmm.
Gray Lady of the Sea.
I thought it was okay.
So the backstory on that is, after the tour of Seven and the Ragged Tiger,
mm-hmm.
the two managers that sort of discovered Duran Duran and helped them.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
They're called the Burrow Brothers. That's why it's called Seven and the Ragged Tiger. It's the 5 band members and the 2 managers.
Yep.
They decide, hey, Simon, why don't you take all of the money you made on this tour and put it into buying a yacht? And you'll own a piece of the yacht called the Drum.
Okay.
He goes, okay. And then they decide to go on a boat race or sail around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the race is called. During one of the trips on the boat, the keel broke, which is the sort of spine. What is it, the spine, or is it the mast?
Oh yes, what a top epic tune. Got it also ×2 albums of Simon LeBlanc solo projects.
The Gray Lady of the Sea.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Duran Duran had nothing to do with Gray Lady of the Sea.
Yeah, but
he wrote the song about sailing and the drum and everything. But so, getting to my point, the boat flipped over.
Okay.
Destroyed.
Great.
He was inside a cabin when it happened, and he was trapped inside.
Oh.
So imagine you're in a cabin and you wake up.
You're upside down.
You're upside down, and there's water. Up to here.
Yeah.
And no way to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's stuck in the boat over an hour with a couple other guys, and then the rescue people came in, and I guess a guy popped up and said, all right, here you go, here's your respirator, and got him out of there. So very close to him dying.
Yep.
And I remember when that was on the news, that was a very big deal, because they didn't tell you he was rescued. They said the boat had flipped over and he was probably trapped in there, and then they told you he got out of it. Big deal. The people were like, ugh.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Could have been gone.
Wouldn't have got Dance Macabre?
Nope.
What else happened? Notorious? Like anything after that would have just been gone.
A whole litany of music. But also he would have been dead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I say that as in he wouldn't be able to share his work anymore.
I haven't really heard of him
like
being on doing that kind of thing again after that.
I wouldn't. If it were me, I probably wouldn't be getting another boat anytime soon.
Right.
It's traumatizing.
Well, it destroyed the boat too.
Yeah.
The boat was. I think they fixed it finally with insurance or something, but I don't think he had anything to do with it.
Yeah, who wants the boat after that?
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm not a big sail guy anyway.
I get over it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised you'd ever go back on a boat, but I mean, listen, he likes to do dangerous stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Well, eventually you got to get over it, but I'm sure at that point it was traumatizing. You don't want to mess around with boats for a while.
So, I guess it's that time, because there's nothing more to say until it's time for a new Duran Duran record.
What about Say the Word? Do we even talk about that?
Oh, we should. It's on the list.
Yes.
Say the Word. So, Say the Word is a very weird thing.
He was so lucky. Yep. That's true about that.
Say the Word is an Arcadia song that was written for a movie called Playing for Keeps.
Okay.
And it was done way sort of after the session. And it's kind of you listen to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird, right?
It doesn't match the vibe.
Yeah, it doesn't match the vibe of Arcadia at all.
Because it happened later.
It did. It happened later.
It's the equivalent of, we were talking about if you really like a song and you listen to the whole album, you're gonna find other songs you like because they're kind of the same vibe. This one happened later, even though it was still technically Arcadia. It's like
And when I hear that song,
love it, love it.
I hear A View to a Kill influence on it
Probably.
when you hear that, because those stabs are reminiscent of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good call. I forgot about that. Say the word.
Yeah. Well, I just make sure. I think that's the last thing on our list.
Still fun song though.
Yeah, that's everything on our list. I'll probably, when we're picking favorites and such, I'll keep this up.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about where we're going, right?
Yeah, that's why I keep looking down here, because I'm looking at the list and I'm looking at the chat. So I know I keep going.
So there's really no point in discussing the Wild Boys or A View to a Kill or Grey Lady of the Sea, because they're not, they're one-offs.
And they're great.
So you can't really pick what's your
They're your
favorite, what's your
favorite.
least favorite, what's your sleeper.
But I do think you should do that for Power Station. You should do that for
I think
Arcadia.
so maybe we should talk about the Power Station.
Okay, well, I think you already know what my sleeper is. You said Murderess wasn't as...
Was that a sleeper or your favorite? We're doing favorites
Could it be
right
both?
now. We're doing favorites.
Well, my favorite is Some Like It Hot. My sleeper is Murderess, and my least favorite was probably...
Oh, you just blurted it out, okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Let me get... I'm trying to think what my least favorite is. Probably Go to Zero. It was still okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I didn't hate it. It was just there.
So there's one I liked less
Sorry,
than that.
I just got into my list. Go ahead. Do you want to see my list?
I'll give you my favorite, and it is really strange, but I have to say what is in my brain is Get It On, Bang a Gong.
That was your least favorite?
First
favorite. Okay,
First
good.
favorite.
If you were saying that's your least favorite, you and me were going to have a problem.
The guitar solo in that thing is so good.
I like Some Like It Hot.
And it's also nothing against Some Like It Hot.
I know.
I prefer Get It On, Bang a Gong.
Mm-hmm.
What they did with that is so good.
Okay.
And what was even better about it is they took a kind of okay song and then blew it up into something fantastic.
Ooh, Ron has no fave. Sorry. On Power Station. You got no fave on Power Station? What about Murderess? Some Like It Hot.
Probably I don't,
Bang it gone, get it on.
So my least favorite is actually the last song, Still in Your Heart. For me, that one sounds like they ran out of gas.
Well, I probably don't remember it. So
that's probably not good, right?
So maybe I changed my answer from Go to Zero to Still in Your Heart.
I kind of like Go to Zero.
Maybe I need to hear them again.
Go to Zero. Not the best.
Well, like I said,
it's okay.
Worst. But you're right, I don't remember Still in Your Heart, so maybe I should change my answer to that.
And it's kind of flat.
I don't remember, yeah.
And I guess my sleeper is Don't Miss Harvest for the World. Very cool that both guys are singing in that, and it becomes important soon for Andy. So that would be what I'm saying on that.
You should listen to Murderess again.
I listen to Murderess. I remember. See, my problem.
I think you should listen to it again.
My problem with Murderess is.
Yeah.
So Robert Palmer says no, I'm not going to tour, and leaves and go makes his album.
Yep.
But they'd already booked a tour. Mm-hmm. So they get another guy to come in and sing it. I remember that guy singing Murderess, and the guy is fine, but he's not Robert Palmer.
Yeah, but we're talking about the studio.
Right, but I mean, you could still... That affects my enjoyment of that song because I heard the other guy sing it.
Nah.
But we're kind of off Power Station now. We've both given our favorites, our least favorites, and our sleepers.
Yeah, our least favorites ended up being the same. Just because I don't... That last time. Near the end, I started losing gas, so probably.
So let's talk about So Red the Rose. What... Without blurting them all out,
I'm sorry.
Just tell me your favorite off that
I'm very
album.
passionate about Power Station because it's new to me and I was excited. Yeah. Sorry. This one...
Well, I told you, I hadn't listened to it in a while, and I was like, I have a new appreciation for that.
The Flame's my favorite.
The Flame, yeah.
I like The Flame a lot.
That was a single, and it rocks.
Yep.
And it's kind of wild.
Oh, yes, Arcadia. Ron, give us your favorite, too. Because Ron is a fan of Arcadia. I'd like to hear what his favorite is.
And so would I, actually.
So tell me your favorite, then. Oh, Ron likes The Flame.
The Flame is good.
Sounds like me and Ron are finally on the same page. I
Flame
love
had
it.
a really cool 12-inch single too. It had a bunch of different photos from the video.
I think watching the music video made me enjoy it a lot more.
Mhm.
And Ron also says Lady Ice.
So Lady Ice is, I mean, that could be my favorite. It is epic.
But it's 7 minutes.
Because it's so it like paints a whole world.
Yeah.
And the playing on that, that song really is next level. That's got to be one of the best songs those two have ever written, and I'm talking about from the first album all the way till today. Lady Ice, just because of what's going on in there, the craftsmanship of writing music. There's something special going on in Lady Ice. So yeah, Lady Ice cannot be. I'm surprised Lady Ice didn't show up on Dance Macabre. It's got a very Dance Macabre vibe.
Well, because it's not Duran Duran.
Well, I mean, they put songs that weren't Duran Duran songs. They did a lot of remakes.
I guess,
you could squeeze that in there. I don't think anybody would. Roger's not going to complain. He was. So we didn't even really talk about it. So Roger was part of Arcadia a little bit, but he's in a lot of the photos. He's not in any of the videos, but so all the promotion work and stuff like that, he's in it. Even that Arcadia poster I had up here for a while, he's in it.
Sorry, I just smacked my mic because I had a problem.
So I guess I should have mentioned that. But so what's my favorite?
Will you mention it now? Yeah.
My favorite off that record.
I said mine is The Flame. Tell me your favorite.
That's hard because they're all so good.
I don't agree, but okay.
Boy, this is really tough. Because I even like the instrumental.
Which one's the instrumental?
Rose Arcana.
I don't like. I'm going to say my least favorite is Rose Arcana.
Well, there's an extended version that actually fleshes that song out, and it's really good.
Lady Ice, there's a video on YouTube. Ron says.
Is it a fan-made?
Possibly. Ron, tell us if it's a fan-made video.
It must be a fan-made.
Yeah.
They should have made a video for that.
Yeah.
I guess they figured, there's no way you were going to play that on radio.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Keep Me in the Dark.
Keep Me in the Dark. And Ron says it's brilliant. It's a fan-made video.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to check that out.
Thanks, Me too. Ron. Yeah, Ron.
I'm going to say Keep Me in the Dark. That is a really good song. It's the second song.
I see it. Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. I like The Flame.
Okay. What is your least favorite on the record?
Rose Arcana.
Rose Arcana?
I don't like instrumentals. It has to be a really good instrumental for me to like it. And I felt okay.
So, I mean, I guess I would pick that too, just because I have to pick something, but the whole album is brilliant. But, I mean, if I'm gonna pick something off the record, I'm not gonna pick something with lyrics.
Yeah.
So I'll put that there.
Okay.
As the least favorite. Now, but what is your sleeper? What is the song that you go, you know what? You're probably only going to hear Election Day. Where should you dig a little deeper?
Probably Lady Ice.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't you think that would be a sleeper?
It is a sleeper, not to anybody who's familiar with him, but we're talking about like the layman.
I'm a big fan of it. I have trouble with long songs. Well, I think it's a sleeper.
Yeah, you need to hear that a few more times to really appreciate.
Well, that's why I think it's a sleeper in my eyes. I'm like, okay. Like, I feel like I need to go listen to it again. It's a sleeper. Like, I'm the layman in this situation, and I need to go listen to it again.
Yeah. It's sort of the point of the honorable mention.
Do you have the 3-disc box set?
I do. Of Arcadia? Yeah, I
think
do.
we're talking,
Because
what do you think it is?
It's up there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So that one came with. That one is sort of the new de facto definitive edition because you get the album, you get the extended mixes, but then they also give you the DVD. During the making of Arcadia, a Japanese company came in and said, we want to do a documentary. So they came in and they filmed everything from the very beginning of the election day video all the way to the end of the very last video. And I
Very
want to say
nice.
there's election day, there's goodbye forever, there's the promise, there's missing, and there's also because it happened later, say the word does have a video, but it's like a hodgepodge of other clips. I can't really put my finger on what that is.
Clip show.
So that really doesn't, I don't think that counts. But so anyway, they made this documentary and they show you in the interviews and how they did all this stuff and the videos. And it's like it was a laser disc that I had. And you could watch. It was not a full length film, but definitely if you like that album, you want to see how that was all created. And with the reissue, they put that in that set. So that set is mandatory
Okay.
for, once you get into the next level of fandom.
Okay.
Very good set. And the definitive. I don't know what else you could do with it other than if they ever decide to make another record. Which I don't. Nick was on YouTube not too long ago when they showed Black Moonlight video. He came on and then took questions and stuff. I tried to get a hold of him and ask him about a new Arcadia record, but he never got to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah.
I'm sure he hears it all the time.
Yeah.
He's probably like, well.
Arcadia. Well,
But can we talk about how exciting it is that there's a deluxe edition of Dance Macabre? And
I
how
am so excited.
they keep feeding us.
I'm so excited.
I like that they keep feeding us material.
I don't know just because it's the freshest, but Dance Macabre right now is like one of my faves.
Yeah.
One of them.
Well, how exciting there's going to be 7 more tracks.
I am jazzed. And they're doing a bunch of songs that I like. Like
what?
Didn't you say, what was the other?
That's already on there.
What's the other one you said?
Are you talking about the new ones?
Yeah. There's
There's
one you
New
said
Moon
that
on
they...
Monday reworked.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one I
Wanna
was
hear it?
thinking of. Yeah, sorry. My brain is... I told you I'm very sleepy today. I got a lot going on. I got Beautiful Minds projects going on over here.
Mhm.
You know how it is. I hope they release New Moon on Monday, new version, and video.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Video. I don't. They put obviously a lot of money into Black Moonlight. I'm actually surprised they made that, just from the cost of how much it looked like it, and you don't really get a lot of mileage out of videos anymore. But the videos they did for Dance Macabre with the generated AI,
love Dance Macabre.
yeah, but the video is not great.
No, it's great. You're not a real fan.
I guess I'm not. I don't like the AI stuff. They did some AI stuff with the.
Oh, my
cover.
favorite is Bury a Friend. I love Bury a Friend. That's the
That's
Billie
the-
Eilish cover.
Every time I hear that, though, I think it's a ripoff of The Doors' "People Are Strange."
I gotta be 100%. I didn't like the Billie Eilish version. Because I never heard it before. I thought Simon made that song.
Mm-hmm.
Then you told me it was a cover, and I heard it. I'm like, I love the cover so much more.
Yeah,
It's.
I'll agree with that.
It's great. I love it. And I was never really a Billie Eilish person, but I am a Simon covering Billie Eilish person.
Now, you're going to ask me what my favorite track off Dance Macabre is?
Dance Macabre.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
Because there'll be a video.
I'm not going to tell you either. They made it their own, Ron says about Bury a Friend.
Well, they did
I
that with
agree.
all of those, really.
Yeah.
Even Psycho Killer, I think, is better
I
than
love
the Talking
Psycho
Heads.
Killer.
I think they do a better job than the Talking Heads. I've never been a big Talking Heads fan.
They did so many good covers on that album.
I think they do a great job with Super Freak.
Dude, that's the one I usually play in the car because everybody knows that song, and that's how I'm trying to ease people into listening to Duran Duran.
And Super Freak is the most overused song because you had Rick James who did the original, and that was a hit. Then, like 10 years later, MC Hammer took the whole riff and rapped over it, and that was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I've heard Nicki Minaj steal the riff and do a tune on it.
Mm-hmm. Not steal, sample.
Whatever, yeah. But then Duran Duran does it, and somehow it's fresher than all of them.
Ghost Town, my least favorite, don't like it. I don't even know what you're talking about, so I probably didn't like it either.
So Ghost Town is a song by the Specials.
Okay.
And the Specials aren't really my thing either, but I think they did a better version than the specials did.
Okay.
Uh, this goes to be a ghost town.
So you know what I
All the
need to do?
clubs have been shut down.
When October hits again, I need to listen to that full album and really let it soak in.
Well, you don't have long to wait then.
Because what happened was we listened to the whole thing. I took a few of my favorites and I listened to them to death.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to
Yeah.
listen to all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I do usually hang on Psycho Killer.
A Psycho Killer, Super Freak, I listen to a lot. Bury a Friend, I hit hard.
But you didn't like Confessions in the Afterlife
I
as
didn't.
much as I did. But I liked it so much because it reminds me of Arcadia.
Nah, I wasn't. He said Ghost Town didn't sound like Duran Duran.
Yeah, they did kind of goof around with it.
And Ron does like that song you just mentioned, that one you said you liked. One that
Confessions in the
yeah,
Afterlife.
that
Yeah,
reminds you of
I think that
Arcadia.
song is special. You should give it another listen. Here, you want to hear something that I'm sort of cheesed off about?
What?
So I've got the Blu-ray of Dance Macabre, which is the Dolby Atmos mix of the record that you listen to in the surround sound out there. So what about the new 7 songs?
You're screwed.
Are they going to make another one, or
They might make another one if they want more money.
yeah?
Yeah.
I'd buy it
You
if you're going to
probably
put it out
would.
there. There's nothing as good as those Blu-rays for sound, popping all over the place. It's fantastic.
I don't like to
it's
listen
crazy.
to Blu-rays of songs.
It's so. Well, here's what I like about it. You'll hear the guitar over here, and the bass over here. It sounds like you're in the room while they're playing.
I don't think I agree.
Well,
Can we agree to disagree here? Or no, that can't happen. I've got 17 different versions of Dance Macabre. I don't know what that means.
Are you talking about like the special edition vinyls and stuff like that?
I've got 17 different versions of Dance Macabre. That's all he said.
Because they made several different vinyls and they made different CDs for different regions.
I bet he has. Yeah, he says yes.
But I didn't hear of 17. I've only heard of. I don't know which version of Dance Macabre vinyl I have.
I don't know either.
I don't know if they're the blood red records or the black ones with the brown shimmy shammy.
I don't know.
I never opened it. I just framed it over there.
Yeah, you're more of a collector. I'm more of a opener and listener.
But I did get the UK version of the CD.
Okay.
It was fancier.
All right. We're turning this into Dance Macabre talk.
Well, because
I love Dance Macabre.
We just found out there's going to be 7 new
Yeah, new
tracks.
news.
There's nothing wrong with that.
New news.
So that is. Oh, I didn't do my. But
Ron also has cassettes.
Well, they made cassettes too. I guess maybe I did see that.
I like that.
With the cassette. You know why I didn't buy the cassette?
Because you don't have anything to listen to a cassette.
I've got my car has a cassette tape player.
Oh
yeah. Because I can make my own.
Yeah, you just make your own cassettes. Yeah.
I've got a cassette recorder, and I do make my own mixtapes, and it's kind of fun to make them.
Okay. It takes you back to when you were a kid.
But I will tell you, the CD is what I have in the car too.
Yeah. I just listen off of YouTube Music.
Right. I
do that
too.
Any kind of music that I'm listening to, the moment it's released on YouTube Music,
Yeah.
I'm there.
In the car now, I always have YouTube Music on.
Ooh, Japanese, Blu-ray, cassette. He's
I don't know the Japanese Blu-ray. I don't know.
No, Japanese separate, Blu-ray separate, cassettes.
Yeah, the Blu-ray is worth having.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So I've got the vinyl,
Mhm.
I've got the CD, and I've got the Blu-ray.
I don't.
That's all I got.
I did just get gifted a Chappell Roan record. I haven't shown you yet, but it's very cool.
What's Chabaroli?
It's that new chick who's popular.
Oh.
You're out of the loop?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Never heard of it. I don't know Chabaroni.
She's like the new Duran Duran.
Sure. I've heard that a lot, actually. And it never seems to be.
I'm just messing around, I promise. She's completely different.
I would like to say something about Duran Duran.
Yes. You love it?
I'm very lucky that it's my favorite.
Signed vinyls, all different colors, cost me a lot of money.
Wow, signed. That's nice.
I have one signed record, and it's not from Duran Duran.
And
That's the only thing
I
I've
only
ever.
have one signed too. Here it is.
What is
It
it?
sits right
Let's
here.
see. Oh, Future Past?
Yep.
Future Past is very special to me. I think I really like Dance Macabre a lot, but I think Future Past, even though it's not that old, I have like a nostalgic feel for it.
No, this is the one where they were lazy because it's the CD booklet. You can see Simon just put an S.
Yeah, for Simon.
If you got the album, he signed his whole name.
Future Past, I think, makes me nostalgic because we listen to it in the car all the time, like when we were working. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good tracks on there.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun discussion when we get there.
I'm really excited to talk about Future. Like I said, I'm nostalgic for a time that was only like maybe a few years ago.
Like 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean.
Well, that's how lucky we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're pumping out new stuff. And
Yeah.
Usually it's a 5-year wasteland.
Break, yeah. Got 21 different versions of that album as well.
Future Past?
Future
Who would
Past.
even know there were 21 versions?
Ron does. Ron's a super fan. Ron's like a level ahead of you.
Well, no.
Maybe possibly
2 or 3,
3,
yeah.
4, 5.
Because I didn't even know there were that many SKUs.
Yeah, well, Ron knows what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Ron is becoming like a third laser brain.
Yeah.
In the Duran Duran series, I believe. In the Laserdisc thing, we just kind of talked to a wall. Here we got Ron helping us out.
Yeah, technically those laser brain videos that we do on the laser discs, they're actually, some people are watching. You know what it really depends on? Whatever one we're doing.
If it's a popular one.
We have to do Rocketeer. I'm expecting a lot of people want to talk about Rocketeer.
Okay. Yeah, we still haven't done Rocketeer. It's been like a week.
I think because we got sidetracked. The one that has the most views is I Love Lucy.
Everybody loves Lucy.
Can you believe that?
I can believe that. People like Lucy. And to be fair, like I said, out of all the ones we listened to or watched so far, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
It was short. It was funny. It was episodes.
Yeah, I do like to laugh.
Ooh, okay. Ron's telling us about the types of Future Past. We got Italian, Holland, American, British, all different colors. Wow. I've even got the lime, which you got the lime disc.
Yeah.
Or CD, excuse me.
And the vinyl I have over there, I'm not sure. I got that right from their store.
You don't even know what color it is, right?
I can't remember.
Oh.
But I got it right from their store. I guess
Japanese,
that was a special
also cassettes. Mm-hmm. Ron's doing it all.
I like the Japanese version. I like the Obi stickers.
I think they're fun.
See the Madonna there.
She's got one too.
That's sort of an Obi there.
And it's a heart.
Yep.
I love it.
And that's a picture disc. You know that plays?
Cool.
That was a record store day.
One of these days we need to show what we're looking at because I feel like we are looking over there a lot and like nobody can see it.
It's too bad that camera can't rotate, but
yeah,
that wall's
maybe
got some
one
good
day
stuff on
we'll make it work. There's a wall we're looking at with Duran Duran stuff and like Madonna and Belinda How do you say her name? How do you say her last name?
Carlisle.
Carlisle. That's Carlisle?
Yeah, that's how you say Carlisle.
I wanted to say Carlson. Even though
what happened to Miss?
She left.
She had to go, huh?
That's
She didn't
okay.
because we couldn't say her name.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I don't like when people can't say my name.
Well, I didn't want to mispronounce it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Sounds like we're talking to our mother, and I don't think she was digging that, Mrs. I mean, it's polite.
Well,
we're from the South.
Listen, if I'm anything, I'm polite.
Yeah, we're from the South now. We know what's up.
I didn't mean anything nasty about it.
Yeah, me neither. It's just I couldn't. I needed her to say it to me, and she couldn't because she's on text.
Anyway, so my point was, I'm very lucky that Duran Duran is my favorite, and that I can't think of another band that's been consistently making music all this time.
I've got all different versions from their first album up to Dance Macabre. Super fan. Super Duran Duran collection.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other special versions there would have been.
The only Duran Duran thing I have, well, if you're counting, I have the Arcadia record, and I have the reissue of Seven and the Ragged Tiger. Mm-hmm. I think that's all I have in the realm of collecting, which is wild because there's a lot I like. I love Future Past. Mm-hmm. I love Dance Macabre. Mm-hmm. I love Pressure Off. I went to the concert.
That's Paper Gods, yeah.
That's the one you know what I meant.
I do.
Because Pressure Off's the one that kind of resonated with me the most. It was kind of like,
Catchy little tune.
yep. I do like Paper Gods though. At first I didn't like Paper Gods, now I like Paper Gods. So.
But that's also the name of the album.
Yeah. They always have a song named after the album, right?
Well, not always, right? Because Seven and the Ragged Tiger didn't make it.
Well, they did have it, and I loved it, but we pretended like it didn't happen.
And when we get into the 90s, they rebranded and called that album Duran Duran.
Are you going to see in October? He doesn't like leaving the house.
I'm not going to see them in October. They're not close to here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way.
Well, nobody's ever close to Arkansas, is what you're saying.
Here's how you could get me to go.
If they're coming to Arkansas?
If they were in St. Louis or New Orleans or Dallas.
Yeah.
If they were doing the Halloween show.
I go to a Halloween show. That'd be awesome.
The problem is they're only doing it once in Madison Square Garden. Why can't you play it the whole time you're out on tour?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I guess because they're going to dress up and everything, but
Dress up every day. Every day is Halloween. I love their little Halloween
And again,
album.
I've said it before. If I had known they were going to do that in Las Vegas, I would have went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And done it.
Paper Gods 19 versions, because we mentioned Paper Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Ron is telling us all about it.
Yeah. I don't, I never see, outside of like the UK was sort of the wow version for us.
Uh-huh.
I do have a French Femme Fatale single from, I think that was the wedding album that they put that on.
I like Anniversary.
Anniversary? I got a video.
The music, you remember the music video for that?
Yeah,
they had all the impersonators.
That was fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can thank Nick Rhodes for that.
I gotta be honest, that's one of my faves. Music video wise, I think that is fun. Yeah. I like that he was playing cards with the Queen and
got cheated.
Yeah.
Or felt he got cheated, yeah.
Have you seen them dressed up for Halloween?
I did.
What are they dressed up as? Tell me.
So Simon was sort of an undertaker.
Okay, cool.
He had big mutton chops, and he kind of came out like he was, I don't know what the PC term for retard is, but slow. Or
yeah.
He came out there like, almost like he was half dead.
Mm-hmm.
John sort of looked like an albino.
Ron, can you tell us what they dressed up as? Because his descriptions aren't really painting a picture for me.
I don't know that they dressed up as anybody specific. Some of the girls, Renee O'Connell, she dressed up as the Bride of Frankenstein.
See, that's somebody.
I don't remember what Anna was wearing.
Ron, I need your knowledge bombs.
I don't know what Roger was doing either. But
this guy's failing over here.
Simon did a good job. I can't remember what Nick was looking like either.
Nick Rhodes and Roger Taylor looked the best. I don't remember what they were.
Well, because the only way you can see it is a phone video.
Yeah.
And they promised a Blu-ray. I didn't hear anything about a Blu-ray release.
Up as for Halloween. Let me see if there's like a list.
Now, if that $550 box set included a Blu-ray of that show, I would be getting the $550 Blu-ray box set.
There's videos on YouTube Live dressed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, Ghouls, Zombies, a Banshee, Bloody Bride. They don't really have a definitive list.
Right. Well, that one girl is definitely the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And Simon is an undertaker.
Yeah.
He sort of looked like he walked out of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Yeah. I wish they would tell me. They're just telling me about the Halloween celebration, and that means nothing.
Well, there's clips on it. And at one point at the end, he was wearing a dress, like Carrie.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he wear a wedding dress one time?
Yeah, that was it. Something like that.
Okay. Well, there's the picture. Wait.
Yeah,
there's the picture, if you can tell me.
See? He looks like an albino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly what that look is.
Yeah.
But the most defined is Simon as Undertaker.
It looks like the Blu-ray is going to be released later. I've just heard before Xmas or after.
So, fine.
Yeah, he'll wait.
I'll wait. Before Xmas or after? I mean, I hope it's not a year after.
Yeah. Well, somewhere in that range.
How smart would it have been to put that Blu-ray in that pricey box set?
Oh, yeah. And there he is in the dress. Oh.
That's when he came
Marion
out.
in the
Yeah,
Dress.
that's when he did Psycho Killer.
Yeah. Psycho Killer.
To me, that's Carrie, but I don't know.
It looks like a wedding dress, bloody, like a bloody bride.
Mm-hmm.
That could just be a generic.
I thought it was supposed
Yeah,
to be
that's the
Carrie.
pick. Did Carrie in a wedding dress?
No, she's in a prom dress though.
I guess I could be. Maybe I need to see Carrie. That might help.
Disturbing film.
I've never seen it.
Speaking of which, I acquired a few more Laserdiscs we need to add to the list.
You keep adding more, and we barely got through the list already. We have like over 200, and
So?
we still need to.
Listen, if I keel over and die,
They're going to film it with this tour, the Blu-ray.
that's fine, and which is I sort of anticipated that that's why they were doing Madison Square Garden, and if they do Shadows on Your Side, fine.
Shadows on your side.
But if they don't, that's going to be a low point for me.
I think it'll be okay.
Well, how much time do we have left?
We could do a live version of Shadows on Your Side.
Good. Listen, I tried playing that.
Soon as the lights go
It's
down.
so fast. I did it pretty well on the keyboard.
Why don't you just play it slow and then speed it up?
That's how I had to learn it.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on in that song.
I can
that
start-
I couldn't like do the noises and stuff.
I can start training my voice so I can be Simon. I just
You
open
could
it up
try.
and Simon's just coming out.
But I was able to play it on the synthesizer. The chords.
Cool.
I could go in a tribute band or something, right?
Yeah, we could be a tribute band. What do you like? Shadows on
You
Your
like that
Side?
Knight Rider theme? I can do that one.
I can just sing along with you.
Oh, you could write words to it. There goes Kid with Michael.
That's pretty dumb.
Better call Devin. Bunny.
That's good. You could take a voice clip of him saying Bonnie and kind of sprinkle it in throughout.
Well, I
So
like
we
saying-
could have some fun with it.
I like saying Bunny.
Bonnie.
I should show my car, huh?
Nobody cares about Knight Rider.
we're
Ron's here
singing.
for Duran.
Yeah, but Ron loves Knight Rider too.
Ron, do you like Knight Rider?
There you go, Ron. Oh yeah, there's the Knight Rider car. And who's in the car with Michael? It's Bunny. Bunny's in there. Michael's in there, and in the back, I don't know if you can see,
Look at the license plate on the back. It says
Devin's
Knight.
back there sleeping.
Yeah.
I think this thing makes a noise. I can't remember how to do it though. There it goes. Look at that.
That's okay.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, KIT if you prefer.
Oh, he's such a bitch.
I know. That's the best part about him.
Oh.
He's kind of a prissy car.
Yeah, really. So I never gave you my Please Don't Skip song on Arcadia.
Yeah, you did.
What was it?
I don't know.
Right.
You said it already, though?
I did not.
Okay.
Missing.
Okay.
Now, why is that such a special track? It's a very interesting track because Simon wrote it about a dead child. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's about walking into the funeral and the dead child and the missing, the misery.
That's a downer.
It's kind of a downer, but why are his lyrics so good, right? Because he is absolutely a poet, but he also does a shit ton of reading.
He is a poet and he didn't know it.
And if you want to be a good writer, you must read.
Sorry, Kit's talking to us. Kit's signing off.
So that would be my don't miss it, because you might want to skip over that just because it's slow, but it's special stuff, in my opinion. Don't overlook that one.
Okay.
So that will do it. Now the next time we'll have to start with Notorious.
Right era going. I'm going to London Thursday to see Dom Brown Band live with Emma Ross. Special guest appearances: Simon Le Bon singing 2 live tracks, Duran Duran, and 2 David Bowie tracks live in a pub.
So let me talk about Simon Le Bon going off the reservation and singing live. There is a version of him singing Let's Dance by David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
This version of that song is perfect. It's better than David Bowie's version.
Okay.
And David Bowie had a hit with that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the only way you can hear it is off somebody's GD phone.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on a record.
Heard it on YouTube.
Put it on iTunes, an
Mm-hmm.
isolated track, not from some guy's phone. Do it. You will obey. So there's two, really. I would like to have that on a proper recording, and I would like Shadows on Your Side live, please.
So those are the things you want. I
Mhm.
want them to do Seven in the Ragged Tiger song.
I
For
would like that
real.
too. That one is so.
But that's for me.
so out there.
I will use my one wish for that.
I think there's a better chance of a second Arcadia album before you'd see Seven and the Ragged Tiger resurrected.
What about what if they Seven in the Ragged Tiger anniversary? Maybe they'll do it.
I mean, there's been so many re-releases of Seven and the Ragged
How
Tiger.
many years ago? Like, how many years has it been since that album was released? Tell me.
I want to say that record came out in '83.
So how many years?
Well, this is 24, so 41.
41 years? Maybe for the 50-year anniversary, they finally...
Well, I don't know if I'll still be rocking.
I'll be rocking.
I still don't get to hear it then.
I can rock, man.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, they may start doing fancy sets. They don't seem to have too much control over the older stuff to where they get to do heavy involvement. But I mean, obviously those box sets that I showed of the first album and Rio, and
I wish they would do a tour just playing the B-sides. That would be great, epic, awesome, amazing.
and what a great idea. But they have said many times, we're going to play the hits because we've been to shows where the bands don't play the hits and everybody leaves disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always going to get the hits.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I would like, how about a one-off concert?
That's just B-sides?
They're not B-sides. They just play the whole Arcadia album. Their Arcadia, the Arcadia outfits, they come out with special guest John Taylor. Because remember, Roger, Simon, and Nick are Arcadia, technically. And you still have John, and he came in. Do that. How about a live show of that? Film that. Because as far as I know, only Election Day has been sung live.
I would be fine without it.
Well, you're a Notorious fan, right? I'm fine
Nope.
without it.
Nope. Notorious.
So when we talk about Notorious, it's going to be a sad bit because there's lots of information for Notorious and the trouble making that record and what happened after that. But I think that's it, Laser Brain.
That's going to be it. Ron said he wanted to tell us something before he left. Ron, could you tell us that thing now? Or do we have to wait until next time?
Maybe he's holding it like we do.
Yeah, Ron's going to do a cliffhanger.
We're bastards, so Ron's going to give us some of that.
Exactly. Don't agree. Sorry, Duranis are asking for it. A band has never done some B-sides are better than singles release. Well, yeah, of course the Duranis want the B-side tour. Or,
Right.
Concerts.
Well, so what would a B-side concert be?
B-sides. But in a concert.
But what? There's way too many B-sides to do in a concert, I think.
You take the best B-sides.
So what are they?
Tell me some B-sides and I'll tell you what the best one is.
Well, on the first album, you got Faster Than Light.
Didn't like it.
Late Bar's technically one. Canada.
That was okay.
Fame.
I'll do Late Bar. Can be one. Tell me more.
Rio B-side. Remember, we found out Rio didn't have any B-sides.
Yeah, so it's
Except,
okay.
I mean, technically Like an Angel, but that was before for the record.
Tell me more.
And then Seven and the Ragged Tiger, what were the B-sides? Secret October. And that was it.
We got two.
Because the weren't really Come Up and See Me Make Me Smile was a live track from the last concert. So is that really a B-side? No.
Tell me more.
And then you go into Notorious, which is apparently the only B-side is We Need You. Because we just looked at that. And big thing, boy, I don't remember what those B-sides
We got
are.
3 songs.
What were the B-sides on Big Thing?
I don't know.
They had there's like 2 poetry kind of things. God created the world and then created the devil to blame for his mistakes.
No.
And this is how a road gets made.
No.
And I know there's a B-side I'm forgetting off Big Thing.
We've only got 3 songs in the concert so far.
Really,
You're
I
really
just
blowing
can't
this.
remember the big. I can't remember the Big Thing.
You're
B-side.
blowing it.
Can't remember.
Let me see if I can find Talk for a Second.
Because it would have been on a single of I Don't Want Your Love or All She Wants Is.
Okay.
Or Do You Believe in
The
Shame?
B-side collection, Duran Duran Wiki.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. So Late Bar,
Mm-hmm.
Fame,
Yeah.
Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Faster Than Light,
Yep.
Like an Angel,
Mm-hmm.
Careless Memories Live,
See, is that a B-side? It
Hold
was,
Back the
but-
Rain remix,
Is that a B-side?
The
No.
Chauffeur,
No, that's on the album proper.
Faith in This Color,
Yeah, but nobody wants to hear that.
Secret October,
Yeah.
Tiger Tiger, Ian Little mix.
So Tiger Tiger was on the album though.
But the
Different-
Ian Little mix.
But I don't count that as.
Cracks in the Pavement Live,
No, I don't count that.
We Need You,
That
Great Lady of the Sea,
that's not a B-side.
I Believe / All I Need to Know.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Interlude 1,
I don't count that. as
This is How a
anything.
Road Gets Made,
I told you that, but that's
Drug.
It's talk. Drug is part of the record.
Burning the Ground.
Burning the Ground was a mashup for the Decade album. It's not. It's just all Duran Duran songs strung together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. And it's not really a B-side. No.
Those
it's
are
its
what are
own thing.
considered the B-sides according to the official wiki.
Well, there may be some technical yeses in there, but
Yeah.
not much to do a concert.
They got 20 songs on that list. If you wanted to follow the
But
wiki,
This is how a road gets made is not a song. He just says this is how a road gets made.
it does. Cement.
No, if someone walked.
I
So
know.
if someone walked a virgin land.
I know, it's funny.
I don't know.
That's all I got, man.
That's it. All right, Ron. Thank you.
Ron says Dom Brown on Thursday.
Yeah, Don Brown. He's a good guy and he's a great utility player. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know his solo stuff.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Uh-oh. Ron's gonna be mad at you.
But that's Dom's doing his own thing. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Ron's doing great. I got no notes, Ron.
I don't. Is Dom English? I don't even know that.
Remember he said he was from the UK?
Is he?
I think he said that. Ron, did you say you were in the UK?
Not Ron. Dom.
Dom?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
Neither do I.
Ron says, I do. Oh, he knows his stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully soon. I guess the album release is October something.
October. Secret October. It's actually going to be on the 35th of
And actually,
October.
for some reason, the CD comes out before the LP.
Got It albums, yes, from the UK. Very nice.
Dom is from the UK.
I believe so, yes.
That's probably why he's playing in the UK.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And Anna Ross, that's
October 11th.
October 11th. So
There you go.
better.
Very good.
So Anna Ross, she's the backup singer that's been with them longer than any other backup singer. She's sort of a member of the band.
Mm-hmm. I do know her.
She showed up around Astronaut,
Okay.
and around that time, Dom shows up.
Cool. This means nothing to me.
Well,
I know Simon. I know Nick. Those are the ones I care about. I
what
can say
about
that.
John
I know John.
and Roger?
I know Roger.
Roger's a great guy. And
It's
you know
just-
what? You're going to find out Andy, but you're going to have to learn the name Warren Cucurullo.
Ooh, Ron met her.
Anna? Yeah, she's nice.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, That's
Yeah.
what I hear. I haven't seen her in person.
Yeah.
When we saw her up on stage, it's kind of hard to see her that far away.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to learn the name Warren Cucurullo.
That was my nickname in high school.
Cucurullo!
Yeah.
A very talented musician. You're going to hear about him. You're also going to hear about someone called Sterling Campbell.
Okay.
You'll have to.
Keep just throwing names at me that at the moment they mean nothing to me.
Right. Well, that's the
They
level
will.
you're at, right?
They will. I'm sure.
Any Duran Duran fan will tell you who Sterling Campbell
I
is.
gotta wrap this up, bro.
Okay, wrap it up.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Ronnie,
So, are we coming back Saturday or Sunday? I don't promise I don't know my schedule.
Well, I'm going to assume we're going to be here Saturday at 1.
Unless another note is made.
Or you know what I almost did?
What?
I almost just went on by myself and was going to talk about videos, and so sort of out of the series, but at
Well-
least that would have been something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, there's so many sub-genres that you could talk about Duran Duran that
Mm-hmm.
ours is very kind of linear album.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Because a lot of times I think I'm staying here Saturday because I got to give rides and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It might become a Sunday thing.
Maybe.
Who knows? We're going to find out. We're going to say, see you Saturday at 1, but he will post another update if that changes.
Yeah,
How
I
does
guess
that
it
sound?
will. Or
He
maybe I'll pop
posted
in
his
and talk
first
about
update the
videos.
other day.
We always talk about videos.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, Ron Farney says what time? Yeah, 1 o'clock is what we're shooting
Always
for.
one. Don't know what time that is for you. I think there's an 8-hour difference.
Because we're in Arkansas.
We're in Central Time Zone.
Yeah, Central Time Zone, 1 o'clock.
Which would be 2 o'clock Eastern Time, which is New York.
What?
Ever hear of New York?
Yeah, I've heard of New York.
Outside of the United States, people think of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Some LA, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly they think New York.
Mm-hmm.
And most people think about the time,
Well,
Eastern Time.
Ron's going to have to look up some
I bet he knows.
conversions. Yeah.
I bet he knows.
All right.
All right, we'll see you later, Ronnie.
Saturday or
Have
Sunday.
a good time. So that's it,
We'll
Laser
see.
Brain.
Goodbye, Laser Brain.
Until we come up with Rocketeer.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
We gotta discuss
We got to
the
do that
Rocketeer.
eventually, yeah. I'll figure it out.
I'm sure you will.
I'm doing my best here, man.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad we can't figure out how to do cameras so you could be somewhere else and pop in.
I'll be back just in time. Night. Oh, night for him. Good night, Ron.
Cheerio.
All right, you ready?
All right. So long,
Bye.
Laser Brain.